And with that, we can begin. Good evening, afternoon, night, or whatever it is in your part of the world. And welcome to tonight's stream. I say tonight because it is soon to be night on my part. And as expected, today we are going back to Warhammer 40k Battlesector. But before we do that, how about a quick bit of reading? Just a couple of short 40k stories to get us into the proper mood. Let's see what we have here. I have... yes, it will be time to kill the bugs. A lot of them. As is to be expected. Now then, the first story that I would like to open with today will be called fucking Adeptus Mechanicus. You'll understand why in a little bit, but let me just put on the appropriate music. Let me know if it's too loud. Shouldn't be. It all began when I was a young lad on my family's farm. I hated to rake the grass. Every time we mowed it, I had to take the old iron rake and gently gather up the cut grass for mulch. Rake too hard or fast, and the large teeth of the rake would dig into the grass roots and pull them up. And when done right, it took several passes to do the whole job. It was hard, tedious work. One day I was watching my mother sweep the kitchen, and something drew my eye to the bristles of our broom, how they collected all the dust and bent as she swept. The seed was planted, and the next day I took the broom out to sweep some of the grass. And sure as sure, it did a far better job than the old iron rake. But the bristles held on to too much of the grass, so I abandoned the idea for a time. I resumed the tedious rake until the day my father asked me to take the tractor into town to see the engine seer. I was waiting there, watching idly as he tended to the old metal contraption, and noticed some odd metal strip he pulled out of some recess. It was just a bit of flat metal no wider than my finger, but it bent and moved like the bristles on my mother's broom. I thought to myself a broom made of those metal ships might just work, or metal strips. I asked the engine seer what that strip of metal was, and the kind old man told me it was a leaf spring. I then asked him if I could have some, and being the kind old man he was, gave me a whole box of used and broken leaf springs. That night was spent fastening those leaf springs to an old broom handle I pulled from the barn. The next day, instead of raking the grass, I tried my new grass broom. It only took one pass for me to collect up all the clippings, and the job was done in only an hour when normally it took 3. Over the next few months, I was able to improve my grass broom. I discovered that at the end, if the ends were bent slightly, they caught the grass better. I found that only 1 layer of leaf springs worked better than 5, and if I spread the springs wider, I could cover a larger area, making the job quicker. By the end of the season, I had been able to do more chores in a day than ever, thanks to the 2.5 hours that my grass broom allowed me to save. Then the day came when an old tech priest came out to the farm. He ignored my family and walked directly over to me. He looked down at me, and I saw myself in those 3 big red lenses that passed for his eyes, and he said to me in a tinny voice, "I have come to see your creation." "I don't understand what you mean, my lord," was my reply. "Your grass collection device, young one. Cooperation may well save you." I had no place to argue, so I led him into the barn. Before I could point to my grass broom, the man snatched it up and began staring at it for several minutes. Then all of a sudden, he grabbed me by the arm and dragged me off to the farm into his flying machine. He threw me into the side seat and gently placed my grass broom in the back, making fast tweeting noises. After he sat in the machine, he said to me, "I am Archmagus Geryon 22312239-3. You have been blessed by the Omnissiah, firstly for the gift of innovation, and second for having me find you before my peers. You are to be my acolyte. This is not negotiable." As we lifted off the ground, I saw my mother in the doorway. She stood there with tears in her eyes, and I knew that then that she was the one who was responsible for this. Sometime into the flight, I asked him, "What if I refuse to be a tech priest?" The Archmagus replied, "You will be lobotomized and turned into a servitor. Many in the Order see it as the ultimate in the service to the Omnissiah, but frankly, I'd rather keep my brain. The choice is, of course, up to you." "I thought you said I didn't have a choice." The Archmagus grinned and said, "I did." Decades have passed since that day, and I am now a tech priest. I have a hellgun in my skull, a stylus in my finger, and my groin was replaced by an impact wrench, all because of a fucking rake. Fucking Adeptus Mechanicus. Am I sure if this is not copyrighted? I am not sure of this fact. However, right now, I just want to have fun. And hopefully, this fun will come with some additional benefits, because honestly, I'd like to get my hobbies monetized at some point. Sooner rather than later, of course. However, the road is long. And oftentimes, I hesitate whether I've taken the right path. It can be discouraging at times, you know? When you're yelling about yourself on every available corner, and yet not a lot of people arrive. Anyway, I shouldn't be bringing you down with my down to my level with all of that. Oh, and also I should probably make a post about that on my Twitter. What was I? Right. Right. You might start looking into 40k VTubers. I should do that as well. I just need a little bit more courage to start actually contacting people about that kind of thing, because I am still basically a nobody, and I'm not sure they will have time in their schedule to cooperate with me. Anyway, to offset the mood a little bit, how about another story? Should be a short one, so let me find the one that I have over here. Let's see where it was. Now, I do have a couple of options here, because most of them are, of course, longer than what we can afford to right now. Therefore, I am trying to stick to the shorter ones. So let's see if I have any of them over here. Well, there is one that we can get through in the stream, and another one would be... Where was it? Where was it? Yeah, that's the other one. These are, of course, also a bit more humorous. Now, you do have a choice as to what you can hear before we begin playing the game. One of these is called Looted Emperor, and the other is called Abaddon at the Therapist. Choice is yours. You're trapped in a desert pyramid's secret chamber. You can only open the stone door by using precious what? I piss on the door. I think I've heard that bit somewhere, but I cannot remember exactly where. So yeah, Abaddon the Therapist it is. Time to put on an appropriate music. Can never go wrong with Dawn of War 2, Ost. The small woman glanced down at her clipboard, then looked back up at the hulking figure that had finally finished adjusting itself on her poor couch. She pushed a strand of hair out of her eyes, tucking it back behind her glasses, and sighed inwardly. Being the best counselor in the galaxy had its drawbacks sometimes. Still, the pay was good. Tapping her pen on the clipboard, she began. So tell me, Mr. The spoiler? Where do you think your stress comes from? Abaddon shifted on her couch again, his Terminator armored bulk threatening to flatten the valiant furniture. Where doesn't it come from? He sighed, his voice surprisingly soft to the most feared champion of the Dark Gods. I mean, there's the gods themselves at the top of the pile. Khorne's always teasing me with that Karn's got more kills than I have, up close and personal one's mind. Khorne doesn't like all this newfangled stuff like the Planet Killer. And Tzeentch never shuts up about me being so predictable. And then there's Nurgle. Warp dammit, that guy could give me a demonette weight issues. Doom this and despair that and decay the other. The counselor nodded understandingly. I can sympathize with that, she said. She could. Her ex had gotten involved with Nurgle back in 1960s. He had said it helped him deal with his depression, but she hadn't believed him. Proving him wrong was one of the reasons she had taken up psychotherapy. Is there anything closer to home than that, though? He hummed a bit. Like the other champions? If you like, she said patiently. The trouble with megalomaniacs was that they could never really accept that someone else knew more than them. They had to be led along oh so carefully, especially Tzeentchian ones. Her hardest client yet had to be one of Ahriman's cabal claiming to be bipolar. It turned out he was just suffering a mild bout of warp-induced madness and paranoia, but the sorcerer would have none of it. Well, Ahriman's always been a bit of a pretentious git. Speak of the devil, thought the counselor. Abaddon flexed the talon of Horus, and she winced imperceptibly as it took another inch of cushioning off the arm of her couch. He never knows when to shut up, that one doesn't. Even Magnus doesn't want to talk to him when he's around, and that old Cyclops could talk the pustules of Nurgle. Is there anything in particular that Mr. Ahriman says that has a major effect on you? She asked, marking jealousy, feels inadequate, on her clipboard. Abaddon frowned. Not really, I suppose. He's always going on about how he would have done the Black Crusade so much better than I did, but then everyone does that these days. Not that I see any of them stepping up for a go. And any of the other champions of Chaos? Not really. Typhus is usually off doing his own thing with the Terminus Est, which is a relief really. The guy stinks worse than Mortarion these days. Lucius is busy doing whatever it is that Lucius does down in some demon world or another. Sure, the guy heads out for a quick raid every now and then, but it's pretty easy to distract him, all things considered. She nodded. And Karn? Karn? Karn's actually a pretty cool guy once you get to know him. Gets a bit carried away every now and then, but it's all part of his charm. It's not like he doesn't give people ample warning. He is called the Betrayer after all. No, Karn's never bothered me too much. He comes along on most of my crusades and we usually end up having a good laugh. He leaned back. Reminds me of this time we were assaulting Cadia. I think it was back in M34 actually. And it ended up with just the two of us and some traitor company. The Red Rivers, I think they called them. Something to do with the River of Blood or something like that, but Karn had taken quite a shine to them. Anyway, we were stuck outside of the Cassars, and Karn gets the brilliant idea to take one of the river's landers and do some aerial reconnaissance. So up we go, along with a few dozen of the rivers to pilot the damn thing, and we see the Cassarkin all there in the main square doing some parade or other. Abaddon grinned. Out of nowhere, Karn grabs up one of the rivers and just throws him right out of the hatch. He fell so fast he nearly exploded when he hit the ground. Turns out he hit one of the Cassarkin right on the head, got blood everywhere, and the guy's power pack detonates. Before I could even congratulate him or tell him we got a heavy bolter strapped to the wing, Karn's throwing more traitors down at a record speed. The Cassarkin are all scattering and Karn keeps hitting them. Of course he had to stop eventually. There was only one of the rivers left and we needed him to fly us back to camp. But before we turned back around, Karn grabs my arm and tells me to look down at the Cassar. Lo and behold, all the Cassarkin Karn had hit had left big blood and scorch marks on the ground, and he'd managed to spell out a message. Want to know what it was? She nodded. It was a haiku. Inside your Cassar is where we'll be tomorrow, so clean up, would you? Let me tell you, Abaddon said. I about laughed my top knot off. When I managed to turn around, I saw Karn high-fiving the pilot. Afterwards, I found out it put the guy in traction for solid 2 weeks. But when he turns to me, he whispers, I was trying to draw a boat. Abaddon chuckled. Karn's one swell guy. Always sees the best in things. The counselor was, for the first time in her life, speechless. She just didn't know what to say to that tale. She leaned forwards, adjusting her glasses. So yeah, said Abaddon. The stress. What was it you were asking me about again? He trailed off as he noticed a glint in her eyes. Abruptly, he realized. The belching smoke, the grimy tracks, the slowly rotating turret. His psychotherapist was a Lehman Russ demolisher. Roaring, he leapt off the couch in a flurry of heavy bolter rounds, tore it to shreds. Lightning reefed the talon of Horus, and he dropped into a crouch, cursing himself for not realizing it sooner. He dodged to the side as the turret fired, sending a demolisher shell straight through the window of the office. Abaddon lashed out with Drachnyen. The demon sword tore a burning gash out of the side of the tank, where it gunned its engine and accelerated away through the wall, trying to get enough range to use its weapons against him. To replace his counselor with a Lehman Russ without him knowing could only have been pulled off by some kind of tactical genius. "Creed!" bellowed Abaddon as he charged after the tank. "I'll have your head splatted on my talon! I'll hang your guts from my arrow spikes! He was cut short as the last cannon beam forced him to lurch awkwardly sideways. "I'll rip out your toenails and use them to eat your eyes!" he shouted, finding his rhythm again. "I'll tear you out of your metal box and feed you to the thousand terrors of the warp! I'll do very nasty things to your mother!" At this, the tank rumbled forwards, its sponsons roaring to life. Bolts thundered out at Abaddon, most going wide, but many still hammered into his armor. He forced his way through the storm and met the oncoming tank head-on, ramming Drachnyen through the driver's slit and feeling it bite deep into something behind it. Even as the tank's dozer blade smashed into his shins, he shouted in triumph and ripped the demon sword upwards. With the power of the gods of chaos coursing through him, the tank came up with a sword, rising in an immense arc until it tore free of the blade and went crashing over his head and through 3 walls. Startled heads peeked around the edges of the newly opened hole as Abaddon stalked towards the smoking remains of the tank. It had landed upside down and had crumpled under its own weight. No man could have survived it, but Abaddon wanted to make sure. Using the talon as a shovel, he dug his way through the tank until he came to the crew compartment. Instead of finding the smashed and ruined body of his nemesis, though, there was a note. Frowning, he picked it up. "Dear Abaddon the Despoiler, if you thought this was good, wait until you see what I did to your flagship. Yours sincerely, Ursakar E. Creed." Creed! Classic story. Classic TG story from way back in the day. Gotta love them. As nonsensical as they can be epic, honestly. Yes, when TG was good. Now then. Enough time has passed, so let me start a Battlesector before it gets, well, not exactly dull, but overstays its welcome, let's put it that way. After all, we do have Tyranids to kill. Blood Angels can be definitely more appealing to other people than, say, Ultramarines. Just for a completely random reason, off the wall, nothing in particular, as they say. You recall where we left off last time, right? Got some pretty nifty stuff that we opened up since the last stream. Specifically, first we got us the Baal Predator, and secondly, we got us the Invictor Warsuit. Let's go over their weapons once again. Right now, this is the assault cannon configuration of the Predator. It's got the twin assault cannon and a turret, and storm bolters and sponsons. Both of these can be replaced with heavy flamers sometime down the line. And the Invictor Warsuit got the twin Iron Hail autocannon over here, a fist over here, auto stabbers in the chassis, heavy bolter for some hip firing action, and the Fragstorm grenade launcher that can be also found on our aggressors. in about the same place on the top. Next up, we go and retrieve Galleon's staff, as per our previous mission.
Walls of a myriad years surround me, left over from a nuclear devastation. I focus, and the aberrant network in the flow of the warp returns. A synaptic cluster waits, with Galleon's staff at its heart. A lure, or a coincidence? I do not know. It is difficult to focus on the words around me. Through the haze I can see my brothers avoid discussion of the Black Rage while in my company. Knowing looks between priest and tech marine that the Primaris remain oblivious to. I fortify myself, a step diminished to an inch, facing the precipice we forever walk towards. I will take Carleon to this fortification and crush the Synapse network. My duty remains eternal.
The ancient librarian Donatus Galleon understood the destruction his psychic powers would cause were he to fall to the flaw within his blood. He actively worked to find a balance between the nobility and the hunger inherited from his sire's gene seed. The result was a force weapon now known as Galleon's Staff, which actively siphons the rage of whoever wields it. This helped Donatus to avoid a terrible and destructive fate that awaited many of his battle brothers. To the frustration of the armory and the librarius, the emotive siphoning effect of the relic has never been replicated. Codicier Mordos was the last known wielder of Galleon's staff. It is likely some battle brothers found the relic during the devastation and brought it to this bastion, before being overrun by the Tyranids. I'm sure there are some people in the chat, but I cannot confirm that since whoever is live, or rather the viewer tracker number, is unreliable at times. Maybe someone just quickly popped in and left. Who knows?
Synaptic Leader Cluster Node is present. Their fate will be extermination.
Aye, and there's force weaponry in those ruins as well. I can feel it.
Already, right off the bat, we have a welcoming committee of gargoyles. This is precisely why I'm bringing along vehicles. You may be shouting at ghosts. What that means. However, what that means, I'm I'm not really sure what that means. Anyway, let's not dwell on it. What I need to dwell on is the placement of our troops. So Brother Quindar and Baal Predator will go over here. Actually, you know what? Let's group all of our vehicles in one direction. And Kroganax will accompany all of them. So Furiosa Dreadnought, Invictor Warsuit. That means Sanguinary Guard and the Assault Terminators will take up position on the left flank. Same with these Intercessors. Lieutenant Carleon and Brother Ituro at the front, accompanied by these Inceptors. Aggressors also go over here together with Hellblasters. Can swap them out like that. And this should be good enough. Oh, point cap exceeded by a little bit. So I'm guessing we're gonna bench a couple of people. Specifically. 1,170 points. So I'm thinking we can bench at least 2 Inceptors. Maybe aggressors as well. Definitely Furioso Dreadnought. Yeah, not even cute gargoyles like Ivy from Deadlock. Highly suboptimal. And I'm thinking... No, both intercessors are to stay, so most likely we're gonna bench... Who else? One of the Hellblasters, I'm thinking, yeah. And this puts us squarely at the point limit.
I am the sword of Sanguinius.
So, objectives for this mission. Eliminate the synaptic cluster, which is, I'm guessing, somewhere forward, and Techmarine Kroganex must secure Galleon's staff, which I'm guessing is over here. I wonder what this synaptic cluster is going to be. Most likely a lot of big Tyranids, or at least one very big.
Predator crew ready.
See, that range 1 to 6, optimal 2. That's for the twin assault cannon in the turret, and the storm bolters on the sides have actually higher range of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Order confirmed.
Eh? What's this? Warriors, of course.
Firing.
Now get up close and personal. No, that was actually a pintle-mounted Stormbolter, excuse me. I'm going to open up with everything we have now. Annihilated.
Awaiting command.
Now let's take a look at you, Invictor Warsuit. Twin Iron Hail Autocannon, armor piercing 3, range 1 to 8, optimal 5. Very accurate. Invictor Fist naturally is a decent melee weapon, armor piercing 8. Twin Iron Hail Auto Stubber, 1 to 6, optimal 3, armor piercing 2. There's the sidearm Heavy Bolter. And the Fragstorm Grenade Launcher, range 4 to 6, optimal 4. So 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically we can hit them right now, but that's only 75% chance to hit. So, first of all, let's move up a little bit. Look at it go. Like an excited child. Oh, looks like I moved one square too close. Ah, you know what? 20%. Fine, fine, fine. 48, 35. I guess we'll move one square back.
Vanguard marching.
Yeah, like an excited child. Anyway, hey you, catch.
Firing grenade volley.
Thank you. Additionally, goodbye.
Laying down fire.
Superb work.
My will never tires.
As for you, Brother Quindar, I suppose you
They
can just
cannot stop me.
move up a little bit. We do need to be wary of our flanks somewhat, because there's another squad of gargoyles up there, therefore... Whoever comes up close...
Forever watching.
And just so we are
As you say.
completely covered in that direction, time to apply the Blessings of the Young Messiah as well.
Trust in your armor to turn their blades. I'll keep an eye out.
As for you,
Inceptors waiting to launch. Only angels have the right to fly.
you should be able to deal with those gargoyles as well. Or at least render them combat ineffective. Move up. Nothing to see just yet.
Your orders.
Intercessors are gonna mop up those.
Engaging the enemy.
Continue along.
Affirmative.
You will stay over here on Overwatch, just in case. We don't want any nasty surprises after all, see? That's what I meant.
Overwatch.
Sanguinary Guard at your disposal.
You can move up as
With
well,
grace.
because I am fairly certain there will be much more than just warriors waiting for us out there.
With certainty.
Assault Terminators can
Victory
move up.
is inevitable.
And you, I'm thinking, can...
We can handle it.
Of course you can. But I need you on Overwatch from this direction for now.
Overwatch set.
As for you, Lieutenant Carleon, you can move up
Their
together
death is our only
with Brother Eituro.
I await their mistake.
Let's see their next move. Of course, Phananthropes, 2 of them. Yep. Here comes the Shard. Yeah, as expected, they'll be trying to flank us. And the warriors will go for the kill. Or at least try to go for the kill.
Taking fire.
Good thing Ball Predator is an actual tank and not a glorified IFV. Unlike... oh, I don't know. A Rhino or a Razorback.
Sands shift beneath us.
Dragon! Kill the alien!
What the...
They test our armor.
You leave Prog and X alone, you hear me?
I hear something.
More Trigons. Might as well read up on those. So while they make their moves, let's open up our Compendium of Knowledge and check what does this entail. Good shot, by the way. However, I am not comfortable with this amount of gargoyles.
Do not bow to their attacks.
By the way, thank you for shooting the Assault Terminators. That was absolutely useless on them.
Taking fire.
Still gotta be careful. They're throwing all the gargoyles at me. There we go. Combat ineffective, but can still apply that nasty debuff. So, Trigon. Trigons, scientific name Tyrannicus subterra extremis, are basically super raveners. Once upon a time they were gargantuan creatures, but they've been downgraded to MCs, that is, monstrous creatures, with the 5th edition Tyrannid Codex. Their gimmick is that they can deep strike into the battlefield by tunneling, and can, under certain circumstances, allow other units to enter the board from their tunnel's exits. Which is what I'm guessing these are for. Trigons are equipped with 4 gigantic sighting talons and an exclusive bioelectric field called the Bioelectric Pulse, which shoots lightning at their enemies, and their bonded exoskeletons makes them tough as hell. There's also a Synapse creature version, the Trigon Prime, which is a more powerful version of the bioelectric field biomorph. Alright then. So, we try to move away. Will there be an attack of opportunity? Most likely not. Yep, because Trigon is facing Krogonax, therefore we should be able to deal at least some damage.
Firing.
Especially in the back like that. That's about half of its health shaved away.
Only in death will my duty be completed.
Now, Brother Quindar, can you deal with this one in 2 strikes?
I must resist.
You can and you will. If anything, Krogonax will patch you up. Now, one more for the kill. There we go. Wonderful.
Tech Marine, standing by.
Patch up, Brother Quindar. Predator, change your facing.
Order confirmed.
Quindar, move up. Just so these warriors do not get too
Needs
relaxed.
fixing.
And you can hide behind the Predator so that you can be prepared to fix it up next turn. As well be on Overwatch in that direction. Now, in Victor Warsuit, what can we do with you? If we get to range 3, that's 1, 2, 3, so about over here.
Vanguard marching.
68%, I'll take it. It was alright. Now shoot
Laying down fire.
your main cannon. That was also alright.
Vanguard marching.
Back in the infantry flank. Assault Terminators, how do you feel
Is with us.
about tearing up these gargoyles? Especially in light of Venomthropes coming in,
No mercy.
and most likely hurting you pretty bad once they get into your range. Therefore, you struck. Now pull back.
We are unstoppable.
Inceptors can start working on this squad. That's range 2, yeah, go ahead. And there's another Trigon that's gonna try and get to us. There was pretty sure another one over there, but we'll have to wait and see. Yep, that one's rendered combat ineffective. You can mop this one up as well. I know it's only 33%, but it's one gargoyle and it's half dead. You can do this. See? Wasn't so hard now, was it? No.
Fight and we die for the Imperium.
This one will require a frag grenade.
Throwing grenade.
Also pretty much rendered combat ineffective, even though it took your action. Get into position over here. Maybe even a little bit closer. just so we preempt any surprises from Venom Thropes. Come our turn. Hellblasters,
Fire support ready.
would you kindly finish off this squad?
Target
you can.
acquired.
Well, you at least rendered combat ineffective, which is fine by me.
There will be poetry to their deaths.
Now, Sanguinary Guard will finish up this squad.
With certainty.
And after that, we're waiting for Venom Thropes to come our way.
In mind, body, and spirit.
Victory for the Bloodblades. Victory for Skyfall.
That means Brother Atura, get over here.
My duty is service.
And you, Carleon, be on the lookout for anyone coming your way. That should be everyone, right? Yeah. There's the poison kicking in. Survivable so far. There's the shard. Venomthropes are gonna be coming towards, yep, as expected, Sanguinary Guard. They're gonna do a sharding here as
We
well.
will not break. We will not break.
And Brother Atura will heal up the Sanguinary Guard after that. You can handle it.
Rally behind me, brothers.
That's the right attitude. However, once Trigon gets into our range, it becomes a priority target. Yep, here's the tunnel.
We will not break.
That's one of the Assault Terminators killed, which bumps them up on the healing priority. That was a devastating hit from behind, if you ask me. %65% chance. Now, if we go back a little bit and activate battle line tactics,
With precision, brothers.
75%. Acceptable. Got them all right.
Fire support.
Pull back to this
Pull the
position
Imperium.
and open up on the Trigon. Good damage, good damage.
Heavy close support.
Fine. Shoot up the Venom Thropes. Gargoyles are no longer a priority anyway. Decent damage, very decent damage.
Challenge accepted.
You might as well pour it on as well, from this position. And also activate battle line tactics.
Engaging the enemy.
Yeah, decent damage. In theory, Carleon should be able to finish it off, so that Sanguinary Guard have their
My fury will be fast.
work cut out for them. Before you do that, however, apply tactical precision on Assault Terminators.
Sanguinius guides every strike.
Attack the Trigon. Almost dead.
Contempt is my armor.
Now, Eturo, get over here. First of all, heal up the assault terminators. Secondly, finish off the Trigon.
My chainsword thirsts for their blood.
Same with regard. Activate your own buff. And start working on these Venom Tropes.
With certainty.
Wonderful. Now, assault terminators.
Ignites!
Ooh, there we go. Additional AP. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Now, finish off the Venom Tropes. And get close to the gargoyles, preferably blocking that tunnel entrance, so we get no nasty surprises. Speaking of, anyone else? Don't seem like it. Now back to the vehicles. Pull back over here. And open up on Venom Tropes.
Firing.
I love ball predators. Now, Krogenax. As promised, heal up the predator.
We'll have you back up in no time.
And apply the armor buff to Brother Gwindar.
Past, future, there is only service to the Emperor.
Time for some close quarters action. Provided we can sidestep any more nasty surprises, things should be alright. Maybe we'll even push up a little further to see if no one's around. Doesn't look like it, and that means Invictor Warsuit is taking the longer way around. For a good old flanking maneuver, just in case.
For the Emperor!
I think that's everyone. Yep, lost one model to poison, highly unfortunate. We should definitely heal them come next turn. Yeah, you continue applying that debuff. Good on you. Now that's a little nasty. Oh. Oh, they got artillery.
Receiving fire.
Luckily, that's a graze. But we have our work
blood
cut out for
waits.
us.
The blood is strong. Do not falter.
Can't quite reach it in one turn, which means we will need to be very, very careful. We'll activate the jump axe on the next turn. In the meantime, Brother Gwindar, continue distracting the tyranny. Almost forgot how it's called. Exocrine. That means Krogenax will be following you closely for support.
On my way.
Ball Predator will try to hide behind this structure.
Rolling to position.
Technically still within line of fire. But hopefully prefers to attack Gwindar. Hopefully. A shame that we cannot activate these defenses, like that Icarus autocannon array. Would have been very useful in dealing with the gargoyles. Now, mop up squad. Get to it.
Engaging target.
Our presence here means we have already won.
However, try not to die. My professional
A
advice.
powerful decision.
Everyone else, move up.
Moving into position.
With haste.
Moving.
Oh, they got a squad of warriors hiding in the trenches as well. They'll try to flank us from either direction, so that means hellblasters.
Awaiting target.
Gotta be on the lookout. Of course, there's more venom tropes. Why wouldn't there be? Will they go into melee? No, they'll shoot.
We are taking fire.
Time to pull back and consolidate our position. Yeah, run
I
on.
sense a future adversary.
Oh, you're targeting
Do not bow to their attacks.
Terminators, huh?
Like the fires of angel wings.
Only in death will my duty be completed.
And there is a Tyrannofex with another squad of venom tropes. Well, we know how to deal with those.
Sanguinius, watch over us.
Some alright damage. Nothing too spectacular. You, however, will need to go. First of all, however, just to a little bit of damage. Just a tiny bit. And now the main course. Pull back a little. In Victor War's suit. Continue advance. Nobody yet. Nobody yet. Now, Kroganex continue moving up.
Assault Terminators, ready for action.
And you need to get out before you attract too much attention to
The
yourself.
sanguinary priesthood serves the will of the chapter.
Same with you.
Battle line squad ready.
Now then, can we... not quiet.
Without hesitation.
For the Imperium!
We can at least do some damage. That was all right. All right with me.
Only angels have the right to fly. We are the sons of Sanguinius.
And I think that's about everyone for now. Let's see how this situation develops. Yeah, Venom Tropes continue moving up. They won't deal too much damage to Wild Predator, and they can not certainly poison it. Therefore, vehicles are our go-to choice when dealing with them. Never mind your shards. Tyrannofex, however, is a problem, but we've partially neutered Trigon. And what's this? I'm guessing that's a Warrior Alpha. You stay in your lane. As expected. We'll need to continue patching up Assault Terminators because they are getting a lot of damage.
I can hear them skittering around out there.
More warriors.
You will need more than that.
Cardion is getting in a precarious position right now. But I think we can pull through. Now, if we had Vindicators around here, this would have been a bit easier. Those are reserved for Firstborn only.
I am the sword of Sanguinius.
Therefore, work with what you have. Let's see how much damage we can deal to that Tyrannofex. Before that, however... No, no. Open up. Yeah, the Invictor Warsuit is definitely something that is more suited in dealing with smaller targets.
We are the defenders of Baal. Firing. Aye.
Can we apply it to ourselves? I do not think so.
Sanguinius protect you.
A Prime. I'm guessing this is the synaptic cluster that we need to take care of. Let's see if we have any information on it. Now then, Tyranid Warrior. Yes, Warrior Prime. Warrior Primes are an upgrade to the regular Tyranid Warrior. Due to a horrible case of pretend, and looking almost exactly like a normal warrior, which can be seen in the model itself, there have been numerous misreports and misidentifications within the Guard. This means that they usually prioritize the big scary bugs over the smaller and much more intelligent Warrior Primes. You know, the creatures that are actually more dangerous than the Carnifex around the corner. In our case, almost literally. Whether this is just as planned in accordance to the Hive Mind or the Imperial Guard is that incompetent as information gathering is unknown. But what is known is that it has cost more than one Imperial officer his rank and countless men their lives. To be fair to the Guard, the Warrior Prime has only been categorized in recent times as a different and dangerous threat. The Warrior Primes have been identified and reported to exist amongst the ranks of the various Hive fleets, though many Imperial savants and Adeptus Mechanicus Magus Biologus are quick to point out that this is less likely because they are a recent evolution, and more likely because they simply blend in with other standard Tyranid warriors. Let's do it like so. Good damage. Hold on a second. Never not the right time to use Heirs of Ascalon. It's set within 2 squares, right? Yeah, within 2 tiles. Good, very good. Looks like these warriors cannot retaliate in melee despite having those sighting talents. Just what we needed. As for the warrior prime...
In mind, body and spirit. Unleash devastation, brothers!
We got him good.
Yet the meter Xenos my axe couldn't bisect. As you say,
However, gotta be careful with this. Lessons of the Omniscience Sanguinary Guard. And do some damage to Warrior Prime yourself. Very good. Will it retaliate? It should be, considering it's got those bone swords. Yep. Decent damage. Very decent damage. Oh. Oh. You just decided to use your superpowered shot, huh? I see how it is. You're starting to kill off my troop veterans, and that I do not like. However, better an intercessor than, oh, I don't know, a squad of assault terminators. By the way, how far can we go? I suppose we can try to put out some impressive target.
We are the fear that strikes at their hearts.
Of course there are more gargoyles.
We are unstoppable.
Now, finish off this squad of warriors, if you please. How about from... What's the best angle? Oh, first of all... Yeah, there we go.
When the day's darkest, we prevail through control.
I sound absolutely thrilled. Well, because I am engaged. Otherwise I wouldn't be playing this one.
There is little left in this universe that I have not witnessed.
Now, while we do have debuff to the range damage, to the melee damage, still.
No mercy. They wish to test their strength.
Now, these have decided to retaliate. What do you have, by the way? Devourer, Sighting Talons, and you? Same, Devourer, Sighting Talons. Yep, here comes Warrior Prime. Almost kills Kroganax. Most likely he uses a Venom Throw to finish him off, or at least knock him out. I would like...
They rest with our father now.
Of course it buffs himself after doing that. Here come Venom Thropes. They're sharting as expected.
I have faced better. They wish to chew.
What? You motherfucker. That was some serious damage. Very serious. Of course, there's the gargoyles.
Bow to their attacks.
Oh, if you can hear that, it's almost like they're giving me an allergy. Almost. Oh, there goes another attack on Brother Quindar. He should retaliate. Sanguinary Guard will absolutely need to pull back, otherwise they will be slaughtered. But with this Prime around the corner, that's not as easy as it sounds. Yep, Kroganex gets back up. We better not lose him again.
What needs fixing?
Last chance.
Predator crew ready.
After all, he is a named character, so he cannot die that easily. Do some chip damage to the Venomthrope first. Now, delete this Prime. Thank you.
The blood waits. Of course.
Your will be done.
No! I forgot that I was still facing the Venomthrope. God fucking damn it. There goes my most experienced elite squad. Their sacrifice should not be in vain.
Inceptors waiting to launch. Challenge accepted.
Anyway, in here. Of course, there's a squad of Venomthropes, of course. Brother Quindar. Destroy this Exocrine. Lieutenant. Things are not looking too good for our elites. We might lose the Assault Terminators as well.
Invicta Warsuit ready.
How much damage can you do to this Tyrannofex?
Crush them.
Not too much. But he's about on par. %10 chance to hit, huh? No. Kroganex, I absolutely need you to get out of here, otherwise this mission will be lost. Okay, no nasty surprises. No nasty surprises. Draw their attention away. That's all I'm asking for.
They cannot stop me.
Carleon can hopefully finish off this warrior. Not quite. Assault Terminators won't be able to kill these, and most likely will succumb to the poison.
Sanguinius watches over us.
We should be able to pull off. No, of course they will attack. Was it right? Fall back.
A strategic step back.
course the fucker is still alive.
Their death is our only option.
Okay. Somewhat better now. Somewhat. We'll see if it's a restart if we lose any more units. Besides these Terminators. Because if we lose a Crockett Axe, that is definitely a restart. Still a lot of Venom tropes, which I do not like. If you couldn't have guessed. Gwendar can still survive this. He's got enough surge meter. Of course they're gonna shoot up
For his
Carleon.
blood, I will take the chapter's due.
Yes, this might be a restart. Overall, we were doing solid. We just made a mistake when we split our forces. And should have definitely veered towards the right edge of the map.
Is that your best?
Yeah, he comes back up. This is his last chance, as we recall.
Tech Marine,
Now,
standing
before
by.
we do that, let's see if anything waits for us up near the galleon staff is supposed to be. And then we can restart the mission. Nothing, it looks like. Alright. This should be at the start of the battle. In military function, Tyranid warrior primes take the role of junior officers within a Tyranid swarm. Much in the same way as a hive tyrant might lead a full host of Tyranids, a warrior prime will oversee a smaller section of the battlefield or direct a smaller strike force of warriors. When close to a more powerful synapse creature, they will defer their control. However, should they find themselves alone, they can easily bind together those Tyranid creatures nearby into an effective fighting force and carry on with little trouble. In this way, a Tyranid warrior prime is just as capable of directing a swarm as a hive tyrant, and many an imperial officer has suffered as a result of underestimating their ability to project a hive mind and lead lesser Tyranid creatures. If the hive tyrants are generals of an invasion swarm, primes are their captains. Only a fitting that we should be defeating it as a lieutenant.
Death from above!
Once more with feeling.
Engaging target! Challenge accepted! Your orders. Moving. Engaging the enemy. For the Emperor! Assault Terminators, ready for action. Heavy armor, awaiting your orders. Firing. Aye. My power is yours to command. Awaiting command.
Bring me your broken and your outworn, and I will repair them anew.
Yeah, let's do it kinda like that this time. Kind of.
Firing grenade volley.
That's range 3, so 1, 2, 3.
Vanguard marching. Laying down fire.
Have I told you that the auto stabbers are considered a lesser gun than heavy bolters? Because in gameplay terms, auto stabbers, or specifically heavy stabbers, are supposed to be kind of like modern-day 50 cal machine guns. And you all know what bolters are.
Hellblasters awaiting target.
There is little left in this universe that I have not witnessed.
Now, you can, of course, and should not forget that auto stabbers that are held by infantry are supposed to be equivalent to modern-day assault rifles, be they M16s or AK-74s, at least at the time when 40K was just being made.
Overwatch.
With certainty. I am the sword of Sanguinius.
I go where I am needed.
I await their mistake.
Well, I wouldn't say exactly rocket launchers. Rocket launchers still have a niche in their own right. Just like bolters do, just like, as you can see, even heavy stubbers, and regular stubbers too. Even though supposedly stubbers should have been replaced by this point by las guns, because, hey, ease of ammo replenishment is the defining feature of las guns.
Taking hits. Taking fire.
You can survive that. You're a tank after all.
Sands shift beneath us.
Dragon! Kill the alien!
And there goes the tunnel. Strange that it just decides to do that. Oh, it must have been a bug.
And test our armor.
Ooh, that was a good hit. And that, my friend, makes you a priority target.
I hear something.
Congratulations on your promotion. Same applies to you. We just need to let them come to us.
They challenge us from afar!
Taking fire.
No damage, and yet still they apply the debuff and the poison. Have I told you that I hate gargoyles? Of course I did. It's in my blood by this point. Fuck gargoyles. From the bottom of my heart.
Taking fire!
Now then. You have earned yourself a ticket to the Pound Town. But before you do that,
Sanguinius guides every strike.
I must resist.
you can and you will, not to worry. Especially if I do not
needs
forget to
fixing?
apply the armor to you. Now hit it again. It actually hit harder this time. Not to worry. Get repaired.
Aye. We'll have you back up in no time.
You should be able to finish it off, right? Perfect. Now stand over there and distract the venom throw.
They cannot stop me.
As you say.
Let's do it like that.
I am ready to help.
Over here.
Affirmative.
Almost. Good enough. It isn't highly fortunate for me that grenade throws are not affected by that nasty debuff.
Throwing grenade.
Therefore, catch. You will be dealt with in the next one.
Moving.
No mercy. Victory is inevitable.
Yeah, this is a good position. Zip zoom past them and do some damage. Now, apologies if I sound a little bit more tired than usual, it's just that sometimes I do get hit with the tired a bit more than usual. Which always bothered me whenever I did not do as much thing as I could
Ranged
have.
plasma on your request.
Good enough.
Target acquired.
Sanguinary Guard.
Watch over us.
Might as well pop Heirs of a Scale on. We have plenty of gargoyles to finish off. That works after killing enemy model, never mind how many ways it takes, be it in melee or ranged. Still,
With grace. With certainty.
let's see.
Our blood ignites!
Just what I like to see. Another one? Not quite. Still, good. Good cleanup all around. Anyone else we've forgotten? Well, not exactly forgotten, but haven't moved yet. How about you dispel the poison and sanguinary guard? They are too precious to lose.
The blood is strong. Do not falter.
They will fear to tread close.
As for you... might as well get up here and continue advancing. How much do we need to be hitting? 51, 45, 45, 42. If we use the heavy bolter, 55, 50, 50, 49. Therefore, yeehaw, cowboy.
Orders received.
Here goes the Venom Trope. Will it go after Kroganex? Of course it will. No. It'll actually first attack from the rear. Which means we'll need to heal up that Bile Predator as well. At least it didn't shard. These, however, can and will. See?
To their attacks.
And a second one, because it could not... No, they'll actually attack with their whips. And we'll get hit in the face with that. That's alright. Wonder can take it so far. I just need that Trigun to get a little bit closer. There's the deep strike. Right in the Invictor Warsuit, as expected. It can survive that. It always does. Magnificent. Simply magnificent.
We'll have you back up in no time.
Now let's consider our options over here. This shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. See, that's as best as we'll get when attacking the Trigon. Might as well. Decent damage, very decent damage. Now, as for you, you should be able to finish off this Venom Trope.
Look past their haze, brothers.
And you can apply some damage to this Venom Trope as well.
Engaging the enemy.
Probably should have activated Battle Line Tactics. Too late for that.
Affirmative.
Now remind me, what does this do? 35% basic damage and melee range the melee damage received. Poison melee damage received and poison range damage received. Does this apply to you as well? Of course it does not. Only applies to us. Therefore, engaging it in melee is ill-advisable, however. Let's just go for a quick flank. We do some damage here. And we continue on our merry way. Maybe even pull back like that. Let brother A2 heal you up. Because we'll definitely need to heal up these Inceptors next turn.
Without hesitation.
Some damage. Now get out of the shard zone. As for you, well, you still have your fist, which is encouraging.
Crush them! Is that your best?
And it still has its talons. Might as well also shoot at it somewhat. 25. This one has 28. I'd rather shoot the one directly in front of me. Yeah, not the best showing. Definitely not the best showing. Quintar, I think you will be able to finish off those warriors. If not, Carleon will be able to help
I
you.
was born, and should the Emperor will it, on Balfora, I will die.
Going for a quick flank. And apply tactical precision.
Past, future, there is only service to the Emperor.
The next hit you should be able to finish it off. Like so. Didn't even give it enough of a chance to get up. How about... Well, if we do a switcheroo, then that still means it takes some damage, therefore... Sanguinary Guard, prepare to move in. You should be able to finish it up with your plasma pistol, right? At least in theory.
Unleash devastation, brothers!
Yeah. Exactly what I wanted to see.
In mind, body, and spirit.
Brother A2 can continue on his merry way. Kroganax can
Understood.
stay where you are. Quindar can pull back a little bit, so does Carleon.
On my honor.
That should be everyone.
The enemy waits for us.
Of course it does. It always does. Now let's consider how we're going to approach this. Remember that they are waiting for us over here. But we do need to patch ourselves up.
Standing by.
Therefore,
Awaiting command.
we're gonna need to switch things around a little bit. As I've stated previously, we just need to
that I have not witnessed.
shift to the right flank.
Our presence here means we have already won.
For the Emperor. Heavy close support.
Might as well go the extra mile. You, Carleon, stay where
Their
you
death
are.
is our only option.
And then we'll advance from this angle. From this angle with vehicles, and from this angle with infantry, I'm thinking. Even though it's only 1 tile wide. This one, conversely, 2 tiles. This should be good.
They will fear to tread close.
But hey, you know what they say? No plan survives contact with the enemy. Therefore, we are staying where we are for now, and consolidating our forces where they need to be.
Through us.
Battle line squad ready.
The rest of you, stay alert.
We'll have you back up in no time. On my way. Always forwards. I'll keep an eye out.
Good thing that we have this command point to spend. However, our only other ability will be spent on... well, on a cluster of enemies, so that it's not a complete waste.
The blood of Sanguinius flows in my veins.
Your orders.
We are the defenders of Baal.
Now we can start advancing.
Trust in your armor to turn their blades. Vanguard marching.
There it is, once again. Can't quite reach it. And the damage will be laughable.
For the Emperor!
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Bring me your broken and your outworn, and I will repair them anew. Death from above! Affirmative.
Assault Terminators, ready for action.
That should be everyone, right?
Kill it before it disappears!
There are the venom tropes. Even Hellblasters tried to chip in. That is admirable. Shooting Quindar.
Receiving fire.
Yep, getting healed up immediately after that.
My vigilance is eternal. My will never tires.
25%, huh? Not a fan of that.
Inceptors waiting to launch. Engaging target.
Now we're talking.
Challenge accepted. With grace.
And Victor can start cautiously making its way forward.
Fire support. We are indomitable. Invicta Warsuit ready.
There's the rest of the Venomthropes and the Tyrannofex.
Laying down fire.
See? Terrible damage against anything more or less armored up front. %, 29, 13, 21.
A powerful decision.
We fight and we die for the Imperium.
Everyone should be in place. Same goes for you.
Zone of denial established.
Yet the meter xenons my axe couldn't bisect.
Come a little closer, especially if you've done that. There's Warrior Prime. Definitely a priority target. There's another shard.
Is that your best?
Decent damage. Let's try not to lose Invictor Warsuit. What's the Tyrannofex gonna do? Will it go after the Warsuit as well? No, does not look like it. They are, however, all focused on the Warsuit. Or almost all. Okay, that was not a superpowered shot. That's good. That's very good. Should have played the armor before moved.
As you say.
At least I still have Shield of Sanguinius.
Sanguinius protect you.
And you will stay in melee.
I am the sword of Sanguinius. Sanguinius guides every strike.
Now we flank the bastard, attack it from behind. Almost. Invictor should be able to finish it off.
Awaiting command.
If we try to back off, we will be attacked by the Venomthrope. Therefore, we stay put. Do not attack anyone, especially with the Auto Stubber, which is plain useless. As well do just some chip damage, if any damage at all. Now, Predator moves up and starts working its magic on the Venom Probe. Specifically this one. That's alright.
Firing.
Now, the Assault Terminators teleport over here
We are the fear that strikes at their hearts.
and distract the Tyrannofex.
Tear through their armor, brothers.
Now we're gonna deal with Venom Probe, however.
Sanguinius, watch over us.
That's where the Sanguinary Guard comes in. We approach from this angle. Activate Heirs of Ascalon. Finish off this Venom Probe. No proc for the replenishment, but we stay here and keep Tyrannofex tied down. Invictor Warsuit in the meantime stays where it is for now. What we are going to do, however, is to move up our Hellblasters and apply some damage to the second Venom Probe. Well, we did apply some damage. As will do the Inceptors.
On my honor.
Now, if they try to move, they're in a world of hurt from a lot of directions.
When the day's darkest, we prevail through control. I go where I am needed.
Intercessors can move up as well, just in case.
For the Emperor.
I think that should be it. Let's see what they have in mind. Tyrannofex go after Assault Terminators, as expected. Venom Probe tries to move. Gets banged up by Zone of Control, and the Overwatch Fire. Very good, very good. It's not as dangerous now.
Taking fire!
Of course it tries to... It shards.
They will know death soon enough.
Here come those two squads of warriors.
I can hear them skittering around out there.
I'm worried as to what Exocrine will do. He'll attack this squad of Intercessors,
Avenge them, brothers.
and they are dead. For that, you will burn. Because that was my most experienced squad of Intercessors.
Tear through their armor, brothers.
You should be able to do that. And you did.
Vanguard marching.
What can I say besides the fact that Intercessors are fodder by definition.
Only in death will my duty be completed.
First of all, do not forget to apply the armor.
Trust in your armor to turn their blades.
Now you're free to attack. Nothing you cannot
Tech
handle.
Marine, standing by.
And you should be able to finish off the Exocrine just fine.
My vigilance is eternal.
The power of the Omnisire.
Fine. We're going to heal you up anyway.
Bring me your broken and your outworn, and I will repair them anew.
Confirmed.
Now let's consider what we are going to do with you. First of all, Baal Predator. How much damage will you do to this Tyrannofax? Should be enough.
To their deaths.
However, Lieutenant Carleon, first of all, I want you over here. Now, apply tactical precision to Sanguinary Guard. And with that, they should be able to finish off the Tyrannofax. Wonderful. You will stay where you are.
Sanguinius
You
watches
can
over us.
also start shifting in this direction. Yeah, they are fodder, but it still sucks. Indeed. Indeed it does.
In mind, body, and spirit.
So that's the power of artillery for you. Inceptors, in the meantime, get out of the shard zone.
Without hesitation.
Same for you, Brother Ituro.
My
And you will
duty
immediately
is
heal them up.
service.
While Predator can take a position
Rolling to position.
over there to avoid any nasty surprises in the form of more gargoyles or venom thropes. We need to get Kroganex over here.
What needs fixing?
The rest of you,
We can
move
handle
up.
it.
Defensive zone set.
Yep, here they come.
I must resist.
You can and you will. Now another set of warriors. There they are. And the gargoyles. Both of them.
I have faced better.
Invictor Warsuit will be able to flank them from the top. Also good to see that +1 ranged armor completely blocks any
On
attacks
Balfour I was born.
from
Should the
gargoyles.
Emperor will it, on Balfour I will die.
65, 35, 50, 76. before we do that, 65, 70, 95. Let's try the 70. Fine.
Laying down fire!
Sanguinary Guard.
Watch over us.
Activate Heirs of Ascalon. Close into melee on gargoyles. Kill them all.
With certainty.
And now activate your surge.
Our will is immutable, our glory inevitable. For Sanguinius!
Only in death will my duty be completed.
Krogenags, get to it. You'll be accompanied by these Assault Terminators, which, first of all, will be healed up by Brother A2.
The sanguinary priesthood serves the will of the chapter.
Ranged plasma on your request.
The blood waits.
The blood is strong. Do not falter.
Inceptors, in the meantime, can also do some damage to the gargoyles.
Forwards.
Most likely will finish them off completely.
We will fall upon them with righteous fury.
Just like that. Tactical precision on Brother Quindar. And do some damage to those gargoyles as well. Brother Quindar, I have full confidence in your abilities. However, Shield of Sanguinius,
Sanguinius protect you.
and now do some damage. See? Almost got him. Almost.
With grace.
Yeah, that's it.
They will fear to tread close.
The Sanguinary Guard, however, will need to be healed up after that. There's the melee armor coming in handy. And you can get fucked.
I am the sword of Sanguinius.
Krogenax,
Marine,
can you reach it?
standing by.
Not quite.
The Emperor's will lives through us.
One more turn. Maybe by that point we'll be able to finish off anyone else. Unless they decide to gather up all of the remaining Venom Thropes and throw them at us. Which we still should be able to handle. Goodbye. Still doesn't count as eliminating the synaptic cluster, so I'm guessing they will throw something else at us.
Grace through
Let's
discipline.
group up. Just in case.
Your orders.
For the Imperium!
I go where I am needed.
Invicta Warsuit, ready! For the Emperor!
Yeah, there's the rest of them. Those two pesky venom tropes.
Galleon staff is secured. The metaphor of this thing isn't lost on me. These Primaris have even less use for this relic than we do.
The Emperor watches all, brother. You still have purpose in duty.
Yet Demeter Xenos my axe couldn't bisect.
Let them come to us. We're in no rush.
Guard at your disposal.
At least, not yet.
Victory is inevitable. Fire support.
I await their mistake.
Come a little closer.
Target is beyond my vision.
Yeah, that should be 2 squads of venom tropes and 1 squad of warriors. And you can start going in that direction as well.
We are the defenders of Baal.
Of course you are. Nobody argues against that.
Affirmative. My vigilance is eternal.
Yeah, here they are. As expected. Will you do that? Don't think you will.
On Baal 4 I was born, and should the Emperor will it, on Baal 4 I will die.
Now I will say that the Invictor Warsuit can be somewhat unwieldy with its optimal ranges. I realize that it's got a multitude of weapons precisely. For that, however, it takes getting some used to.
We'll have you back up in no time.
Let's see how good it does in this case. Decently.
Vanguard marching. In mind, body and spirit.
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Death from above!
As for you, just get into position as quickly as you can.
We are the sons of Sanguinius. Our presence here means we have already won.
Sanguinius watches out for us.
Almost. Almost got him. %60. I'll take it. Decent. Anyone else?
They will fear to tread close.
Come on, get a little closer. We won't bite, unlike you.
On Balfora I was born, and should the Emperor will it, on Balfora I will die.
Like the fires of angel wings! Challenge accepted! A powerful decision.
80% chance to hit. And that's on the basic.
Sanguinius,
However, this
watch
one
over us.
is 85. Not enough AP to do that, unfortunately. Which means that activation of a scale, Heirs of a Scalon was kind of wasted. I was fairly certain I was landing using only my MP, but looks like I misclicked. Still?
The blood of Sanguinius flows in my veins.
Awaiting command.
With haste.
As you say.
Now, whom are they going to attack? Inceptors? Inceptors.
We have been engaged.
Two HP melee attack in retaliation. That's cute.
Command received.
Deleted.
The Synapse Leader cluster has been eliminated. The network weakens.
Had I more time, I would find a way for Quindar to use this relic. A precautionary measure until he can return to the Arx Angelicum.
I understand your concern, Brother Krogenex. But we race Leviathan itself, and should not further risk the safety of this historic relic. I can bide my humors myself. For now, call for the Logisticium, Lieutenant. They should return this force staff to the chapter armory with haste.
Yeah, we can say that it's fancy ending. We get us 6 tokens to spare on upgrades. No new units unlocked just yet. But I think we have them fine as is. We did get a deployment capacity increased. Now then. I am personally leaning towards... where was it? There. Thunderhammer and Storm Shield. For our Soul Terminators.
When the day is darkest, we prevail through control.
And you know what else we can take? Not Invigorated Machine Spirits. We can consider also getting Intense focus for ranged accuracy on our intercessors. Or Assault Marine Strike. Spawns assault squad units on the target tile. If there's an enemy on the tile, a charge attack will be done. No, wait, we've got 7 points to spare, right? Yeah, even more than that. So yes, we're totally grabbing the Encarmine Axe.
Victory for the Bloodblades! Victory for Skyfall!
We are grabbing Thunderhammer and Storm Shield.
The blood of Sanguinius flows in my veins.
And you know what we are also grabbing? We are also grabbing... Now, multi-melt on land speeders may make it half useful. However, that means trudging through first anti-grav uplift, then data link telemetry, and possibly Auspex receiver. So for that, let's go with field agitators, so that then we can also grab the old ways. Plus 10 HP plus 10% HP per model on firstborn marines. Alternatively, we grab Invigorated Machine Spirits, and then we can move towards the Flamestorm Cannon on Baal Predator.
Yet the meter Xenos my axe couldn't bisect.
Now, let's have a look at our Terminators now. Where are you at? There you are. So, basic damage 15 to 21, splash damage 6 to 8, armor piercing 6. If we grab Thunderhammer and Storm Shield, minus 10% damage received, plus 1 armor on the Storm Shield. Base attack 51 to 68, 1 attack, as opposed to Lightning Claws 3. Let's run some quick maths while we are at it. We'll go with the minimal attack, which is 15 multiplied by 3. We're getting 45. Which is definitely not as exciting as Thunderhammer's one mighty whack. And the armor piercing is definitely higher on the Thunderhammer, so I'm saying this is a straight up upgrade. And sometime down the line, we may consider also grabbing the auto bolt rifles for the intercessors. Less range, but definitely more damage being output. 16 versus current 8. Now let's look at the blades for the Sanguinary Guard. And Carmine Sword, 2 attacks, 17 to 23 in melee, armor piercing 7. And Carmine Axe, once again, 1 attack, but 37 to 50 damage and armor piercing 8. I'd say it's also more of an upgrade. And sometime down the line, we are definitely going to grab the Inferno Pistol as well. 3 attacks, 9 to 12, armor piercing 5, versus 1 attack, 30 to 40, armor piercing 6. And maybe at some point we'll also replace Carleon's dinky chainsword with a Thunderhammer, if we go down this tree. Alternatively, we can replace his dinky bolt pistol with, I don't know, an Inferno pistol. Yeah, Inferno pistols also go on assault squads as well, so that's another thing to consider. Inceptors get some interesting upgrades, plus 10 HP per model, an activated ability, and they can replace their bolt pistols with plasma exterminators. Improves the Inceptor's threat profile against moderately armored enemies. And we're starting to encounter more of them as time goes on, so yes. That is one thing to consider. Now, I am looking at the time, and I think I will need to wrap this up at this point. However, I most likely will also try to make, or rather, to stream in the morning, tomorrow morning for me. So in about 9 hours from now. For now, however, we can wrap it up over here. I would like to thank you all for attending. And I will see you all tomorrow morning from my end. See you around, and peace out.